What if life is devoid of inherent meaning and we as conscious beings are left to assign our own purpose? A chilling prospect, isn't it? Yet this is the core of existentialist philosophy, a school of thought that has stirred the intellectual world. One man, a controversial figure, stood at the forefront of this movement, challenging our understanding of existence. His ideas, his philosophy, will be our journey today. Today is an exploration into the mind of Jean-Paul Sartre and his existentialist philosophy. Born in Paris, 1905, Sartre was a man destined to challenge the conventions of his time. As a child, Sartre was introduced to the complexity of existence when he lost his father at a tender age. This event triggered an existential crisis in young Sartre, prompting him to question the very purpose of life and existence itself. His quest for answers led him to the École Normale Supérieure, a prestigious institution that became the cradle of his philosophical journey. Here he was drawn to the study of phenomenology, a branch of philosophy that focuses on the structures of experience and consciousness. Sartre's fascination with phenomenology was not random. It was a reflection of his inner turmoil, his struggle to make sense of the world around him. His early life, marked by personal loss and a deep-seated existential crisis, became the crucible in which his philosophies were forged. This early exposure to philosophical thought, particularly phenomenology, laid the groundwork for Sartre's existentialism. As Sartre delved deeper into the world of philosophy, existentialism began to take shape. The seeds of this philosophical movement were sown during a time of global upheaval, amid the chaos of the Second World War. It was a period that not only shaped the world but also profoundly influenced Sartre's philosophical outlook. He was a prisoner of war, a captive, witnessing the turmoil of human existence. His experiences during this time, coupled with his readings of Martin Heidegger and Edmund Husserl, two towering figures of 20th century philosophy, led him to the development of his unique existentialist philosophy. Sartre was particularly struck by Heidegger's concept of being in the world, the idea that our existence is not abstract, but fundamentally tied to our lived experiences. From Husserl, Sartre borrowed the concept of intentionality, the notion that our consciousness is always directed towards something. Combining these ideas, Sartre formulated his famous phrase, "Existence precedes essence." But what does this mean? In simple terms, it suggests that we as human beings exist first before any meaning or purpose is assigned to our lives. We are not born with a predetermined essence or nature. Instead, we are thrust into existence. And it is through our actions, choices, and experiences that we define who we are. This brings us to the heart of Sartre's existentialism, freedom. According to Sartre, we are all condemned to be free. We are thrown into a world without a predefined path, without a manual to guide us. It is up to us and us alone to create meaning in our lives. This idea can be liberating yet terrifying at the same time. It places the responsibility of our lives squarely on our shoulders. Often accused of promoting nihilism, Sartre's philosophy is frequently misunderstood. As we dive a bit deeper into the intricate web of Sartre's existentialism, we must confront the contentious issue of nihilism. A term often used as a pejorative, nihilism is the belief that life is devoid of purpose, meaning, or intrinsic value. It's a philosophy often associated with despair, disillusionment, and the rejection of moral principles. Now, it's easy to see why some may perceive Sartre's existentialism as a form of nihilism. After all, one of his central tenets is that life lacks inherent meaning. But is this really an endorsement of nihilism? Or could it be a misunderstanding of Sartre's philosophy? Let's clarify things a bit. The crux of existentialism, as Sartre saw it, is not that life is meaningless, but rather that it lacks predetermined meaning. In other words, there's no divine script or cosmic blueprint that dictates the purpose of our existence. This is far from the hopeless abyss of nihilism. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's a call to action, a challenge, if you will, to each and every one of us to create our own meaning, to shape our own destinies. Sartre's existentialism is not a philosophy of despair, but of freedom. Once again, it's a philosophy that places the responsibility of finding meaning squarely on our shoulders. It's a philosophy that empowers us as individuals to become the authors of our own lives. So while Sartre's existentialism may seem to flirt with nihilism, it's crucial to understand that they are fundamentally distinct philosophies. Nihilism rejects meaning, while existentialism compels us to create it. The absence of inherent meaning in the universe, as proposed by Sartre, is not a bleak proclamation of life's futility, but rather a stirring call to personal freedom and responsibility. In conclusion, it's clear that the accusations of nihilism leveled against Sartre are born from a misinterpretation of his philosophy. Sartre did not deny meaning or value, but rather argued that we as individuals must create it. Sartre's existentialism, while controversial, has had a profound impact on philosophy and popular culture. His ideas have inspired and influenced a multitude of thinkers, from philosophers to psychologists, from writers to filmmakers. His philosophy, with its central tenet that existence precedes essence, has permeated various fields, becoming an integral part of the discourse on human existence and freedom. In literature, Sartre's existentialism has been a rich source of themes and narratives. His philosophy has given rise to a new kind of protagonist, one who is free, alone, and burdened with the responsibility of creating their own meaning in an inherently meaningless universe. In psychology, Sartre's emphasis on personal responsibility and freedom has resonated with many. His philosophy has played a key role in the development of existential psychology, a branch of psychology that focuses on the individual's struggle with existential issues such as freedom, responsibility, and the meaning of life. Yet Sartre's philosophy has not been without its critics. Some argue that his existentialism, with its focus on the individual and personal responsibility, ignores social and economic factors that can limit one's freedom. Others accuse him of nihilism, arguing that his philosophy denies any inherent meaning or value in the universe. Whether one agrees with Sartre or not, his ideas continue to provoke thought and debate on the meaning of our existence, and this rings true to this very day. As we bring this journey to a close, we want to, as always, thank you for joining us on another exploration. And this specific exploration of Sartre's existentialism on another episode of Philosophical Flicks. We don't take your attendance lightly, and we could not achieve the level of interest without you, the viewer. As we continue to dive deeper into the depths of such philosophies, we are reminded of the importance of questioning and debating that can only be accomplished with you all. The beauty of philosophy lies not in the destination, but in the journey. It invites us to challenge our preconceived notions, to delve deeper into our understanding of existence and the universe. It compels us to engage with different perspectives and to continually reassess our own. So we encourage you to continue this journey, to question, to debate, to engage with the existential questions of life. And remember, in the words of Sartre himself, we are condemned to be free, for once thrown into the world, we are responsible for everything we do. So until our next philosophical journey, take care of yourselves and each other.